In a class of freshmen as loaded as the 2026 one, it's easy to forget about players like Omari Allen, who in other years would probably be getting easy lottery talk. 6'7" freshman wing on Alabama, who's been incredibly productive this year, and his high level stuff is his handle and creation off the dribble. Allen is a pretty rare passer and dribbler for a guy his size. He'll string together crossovers and hesitations to beat players off the dribble, and he's always playing off of 2 feet, which is a good advanced thing for a young player. He's going to hop, pump fake, and then find the cutter. That's a high level play. And he's a legit pick and roll creator for Alabama. Behind LeBaron Philon and Aiden Holloway, Allen is probably their highest frequency pick and roll creator, and you can see the talent he has in this action. It's rare for players his size and age. I think he's going to be 20-ish on draft night to be able to reject his screen with the handle, keep control of his handle in a sea of digging arms and bodies, and then he's going to lead Aiden Sherrill, his rolling big man, right to the rim for an easy layup attempt. And Allen's pick and roll playmaking has caught my eye all season, and it's one of the big things that is helping me get higher on him as a prospect, and I'm having a hard time denying him as a first round plus player any longer. He's not exactly a sleeper. He's on ESPN's mock draft. He plays at Alabama, but I don't think he's getting enough love in this 2026 draft class. So I just want to quickly talk about Amari Allen today. Likes, comments, subscribes to the channel are always so helpful. Tells the algorithm that you're enjoying the content and they should push it to more people, and appreciate y'all and the great support as always. Just like I appreciate Omari Allen's passing on the move, he reads this big defender stepping up to him, so he's going to quickly process that and lob it over top to the roller. A lot of these passes are nothing crazy, but Allen has the playmaking chops and the processing speed to just make quick decisions against a variety of coverages. South Carolina is going to quickly show 2 at the ball, which leaves a bunch of vacant space for his big man to roll into, immediately passes, gets him into a position right at the restricted area, and he finishes. Amari is also a very nice connective passer as a wing. He's good swinging and hitting extra passes on the perimeter, and I've liked some of his stuff as a short roll ghost slip player where he can make jump passes in traffic to his big men, and he's pretty quick processing these moments as well. He's not going to make a ton of mistakes. He's a very low turnover, high assist to turnover ratio player, as we'll talk about. He's not a perfect processor on the ball by any means. Allen is probably a beat late here, and at that point, Mo Krivos can stab and get his right arm back in that passing lane. Could probably argue if he passed the ball right here, maybe bounce pass or slip into that space behind Krivos, it would have had a better chance of going through. But for the most part, Allen is a very nice passer. 18% assist rate is not bad at all for a 6'7" wing, and his well-rounded statistical profile, impressive production in terms of box plus minus, even in conference games too, efficient, assist to turnover, gets blocks and steals, free throw rate, good 3-point volume. And I think for the best, most reliable Bartorvik queries, it's important to limit yourself to 3, maybe 4 non-anthro filters. So height, class, minutes, games, whatever. But I wanted to look at these 6'6 plus freshman high major wings with an assist to turnover ratio above 1.5, which is very high. Pretty good volume from 3 and a pretty good free throw rate to suggest some functional athleticism, strength translation. And it's Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper are the only one, alongside Cameron Boozer and Keaton Walker, who are going to be lottery picks. And then we have Amari Allen and Jordan Scott, another sleeper who I'm a huge fan of at Michigan State. He needs to get more usage. You can see that number is indicative of, to me, needing more time and reps on the ball. And Allen's usage isn't that of one of these lock one-and-done stars either. He is a complementary player at the moment on this Alabama team that has an elite creator like LeBaron Philon and a lot of good talent, but I don't see that as a knock on Allen, when oftentimes that helps him get weaker perimeter matchups, and he can blow through even good perimeter defenders with his strength. And he's an impressive scorer on the ball as well. I love this reverse pivot. He's so crafty with his footwork. He can finish with both hands, and he really weaponizes his size. And Allen has pretty good burst off the dribble. He's not like a crazy twitchy or explosive player, but he's strong and coordinated. I love how he splits this tight gap. There's not much room between these two defenders to get his foot through cleanly, but he does, maintains his balance, and finishes right there in traffic. And in big space, when there aren't hard digs or help at the rim or a lot of traffic, he has enough speed and can hesitate to blow by bigs or slower players off the dribble. He's not going to be cooking guards off the dribble all the time, but he does have pretty impressive speed and acceleration for a player of his size and weight. Clearly strong and can elevate and knock guys back at the rim. I'd say my biggest high-level macro concern with Allen from a stealing perspective is probably his finishing. He's at about 51-52% in the half court, blows by Billy Richmond, but just misses the scoop there. And plays like that are indicative of Allen's limitations as a vertical athlete. He can definitely get up when you give him space and transition, but he doesn't dunk the ball a ton, and he's very much reliant on his strength creation and like below the rim scoring. And his touch is quite good, but I'm not sure how elite it is that he can totally rely on his driving as a primary scoring option in the NBA. But I love how Allen creates this advantage. He's got leverage on this defender. He's so physical and strong, and a lot of freshmen especially aren't built or skilled enough or physical enough in terms of wiring or mentality to dribble through bumps like Allen does, and that's certainly something that impresses me. But this all comes together because Allen is a very good shooter. 8.3 threes per 100 possession, 38.5%, solid free throw percentage, basically never takes non-rim twos, but that's very much a Nate Oates Alabama thing. He's got very deep range as a catch and shooter from the hash mark. This is on the Bulls court, well behind the NBA line. Omari Allen's gonna lace it. He's not always consistent from three, but he's generally willing to take these shots when he's open, even from really deep range, and I appreciate his willingness to shoot from that kind of distance. I think that's generally a good indicator, and his off-ball shooting prowess opens up his closeout attacking, where he's not just an on-ball creator. Allen is a very savvy off-ball player for someone his age and experience level. A dig comes here from the strong side. Allen knows he can fill the corner to help out this driver. He does that, draws a hard closeout, and when you give him a runway, he's a much more impressive vertical athlete than in a phone booth in tight spaces, which is the case for a lot of players, right? He can load up, knock back this player in midair, keep his body control and balance, and finish through contact. That's a crazy impressive finish to me by Amari Allen there. I'm sure some of it is scheme, but his lack of a pull-up threat, even from three, is his biggest driving limiter at this stage, I'd say, even more so than the athleticism at the college level, where he's only taken 16 off-dribble jumpers this season at the time of recording, and you can see defenses can soft switch or go under against his pick and rolls, and he's got a ton of space to just pull from the elbow, stop and pop, hit a little floater mid-range jumper, but he tries to go all the way to the rim, can't create against a bigger defender, and forces a tough shot that he doesn't end up hitting. And again, part of this could be coaching, but I think Nate Oates would be perfectly happy with Amari Allen pulling a three from beyond the three-point line off the dribble if he had that ability. And I went back and looked at the AAU stats, and he was a little higher volume off dribble shooting, but still pretty low efficiency. And I do think that Allen is probably going to need to develop as a pull-up shooter if he is to hit his ceiling. Like, he can do it. You'll occasionally see him hit an off-dribble three, just taking a dribble to organize himself. And Allen developing that off-dribble shooting threat will be key for him to draw closer defenses on the ball to make up for some of his less than S-tier bursts. Allen is a very nice defensive prospect as well, and I enjoy how many possessions he has like this, where he's constantly making multiple efforts and imprinting himself on the defense, where he gets through this screen on Del Orso. Just watch him pay attention to number 5 throughout this possession. I really enjoy defenders, especially young players. He's going to dig Burries, force a pickup, offensive rebound as Arizona does, block from behind, another offensive rebound block. He's got pretty good timing on his blocks. He's not a crazy rim protector in terms of volume. He doesn't have insane weak side instincts. He has strong, accurate hands and the motor and energy and willingness to make plays at the basket. He has a lot of these great plays on the ball too. He had a hell of a game against Braden Smith earlier this year in this Purdue game, where earlier he was able to trap him on that possession and just making life really tough for one of the best offensive players in college basketball, and to me, one of the better offensive players in the draft. draft, period. But Allen has the length to just make his life a nightmare. And of course, Braden Smith isn't the fastest guy, but he is quick. Allen has the size and ground coverage ability when he turns and opens his hip to contest and make Braden Smith's life, like I said, very not fun. He had an awesome game in this Purdue game on defense where he denied Braden Smith, on the inbound. He uses his length well in the passing lanes, gets his arms up and deflects that jump pass out of the pick and roll. The activity, the motor, and again, not a standout defender in any one particular way, but he's very well rounded, and his strength and physicality definitely show up on the ball as well. And he has good feet and quick, fluid movement. His lack of quick twitch athleticism isn't as huge of a factor when defending the ball, where he can use his size and smarts and fluidity to make life really hard on some small, quick guards. Even though against guys with NBA level speed and burst like Darius Acuff, he is going to get blown by. He doesn't have the highest center, or his center of gravity can be a little high. His hips are quite high here at the level or above Darius Acuff's chest, and they're not quick enough or fluid enough to open up and recover and contest. And again, when Omari Allen gets beat, he has some recovery tools, but he's not a freak of nature athlete by any means to make huge plays in recovery. And defending off the ball, he will fall asleep, ball watch, give up some backdoor cuts, but that's only natural for freshman defenders. And I do think his projection as an off-ball help team defender is strong as well. The strong, active hands as a dig defender, gets his hand in there on the drive, forces a tie-up. I love how often he's clogging up driving lanes as a strong side defender. That's something that NBA defenses ask of often, and something that Amari is going to be able to provide. And even in these like little things, these closeout help rotations, I like how early Amari starts his rotation here, where he starts moving towards the open shooter in the corner before the first player even gets the ball. The ball still has to go from this player to the corner, and Allen is already starting his rotation, so by the time the guy gets the ball in the corner, he can jump up and offer a solid contest. And it's little things, plays like that for a freshman that suggests to me he can be a very solid defender at the NBA level. Allen doesn't have any one like outstanding strength. I'd say you can argue the craft and ball skills and creation off the dribble definitely could be, but he also doesn't have any crazy pronounced weaknesses. And I think a well-rounded freshman, young, productive wing with legitimate ball skills and creation that, relative to position, are actually probably pretty special and high level. Man, I'm willing to take Omari Allen seriously as a top 20 plus prospect in this draft. I think the ideal circumstance is for him to come back to school and take on a higher usage role and blossom like LeBaron Philon has as a sophomore. I think Allen has that kind of talent to turn himself into a top 10 pick with the right kind of sophomore season. But if he came out and went in the top 20 this year or even higher, it wouldn't shock me. He has that kind of talent, that history of production and two-way play that NBA teams are going to love. And of course, he's just a very fun player to watch and someone who I've enjoyed watching from the moment he stepped on the floor in the preseason games at Alabama. I'm like, oh, this freshman who I've never heard of. Who is this guy? Omari Allen. And turns out he was incredibly good and became one of my favorite players. So shout out to you, Omari Allen, and shout out to you for watching this video. I appreciate everyone who stuck it out this long. Consider like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Allen the rest of this class, and have a nice day.